Don't blink! A lot of hours are fast! This one is sudden!
Woo! It's the Ron and Fez Show, the fastest hour in radio. We'll be here till 11 o'clock tonight. This Saturday, Ronnie, I'm going to be at the Tim Harmon 5K Run Walk. Still putting together, still some spots left on my Team Watley crew.
We're looking for some people that can come out. And how many Ks is it, Fez?
It's 5 Ks, which is 3.1 miles.
No, I thought maybe this thing was in Britain. It's suddenly we're worried about Ks.
It's the only time in America we use metric, so you don't want to miss it.
All right, 866-277-4969, 866-277-4969 if you want to be on the Fez Watley team. And I'd like to have a couple of quick people on that team, Fez, to make up for your
For what?
Your lard butt. That's what I'm worried about right now.
I'm already taking the anchorman position. I'm going to have us bringing up the rear. What I need is some Kenyan speed out there that's going to go right across the finish line because I want some prizes.
Maybe a doctor or a nurse to run next to you. All right, 866-277-4969 if you like to run. Or email us at ronandfez@AOL.com. Even if you don't want to do it yourself, but you have that fast friend that wants to be on Fez's team, get in touch with us.
Colin Powell is discouraging American workers from leaving Saudi Arabia, saying it would be a victory for the terrorists. Now, isn't that kind of easy to say when you're in America and your co-workers aren't being beheaded?
Yeah, it is kind of easy to say for that reason. And for another reason, let's stop giving them easy wins. Just the fact that somebody leaves the Middle East doesn't mean the terrorists have won. Remember, this thing was not about us putting more Americans in Saudi Arabia. It was about keeping America safe. That was the point of this. I know we kind of went off and did our own thing in Iraq, but I'm not willing to say to myself, hey, if my uncle doesn't go to Saudi Arabia, the terrorists have won. I don't even get that logic for a second.
Well, last year, if anyone smoked a joint, the terrorists had won.
Well, then they won. If I look around this place, they got to be winning big.
Wow, the win streak they've got going.
Yeah. And I heard the other day, if you go to a Michael Moore movie, the terrorists have won. We make it too easy for these guys to win.
Al-Qaeda claims sympathizers in the Saudi security force helped them get uniforms and cars in order to set up a fake roadblock. That's what they used to capture Paul Johnson before he was killed. Now, how do you beat the terrorists when your allies are helping them?
Why should we believe the terrorists with this story? Wouldn't this exactly fall into their hands of going, the Saudis are helping us? I don't know if I'm just going to believe this point blank.
I'm willing to believe anyone that's not us or the Saudi Arabians at this point. That's how far I've gone.
All right, then now I think the terrorists are winning. When you get to that point, when you're going to believe anything that the terrorists have to say as being gospel truth, as you folks say down south, I'm worried about that one.
Have the terrorists ever lied to us before?
Yeah, I think they have. You got to buck up on this one, Fezzy. Not only for yourself, but for your team of people running this Saturday.
It turns out that President Bush's federal appeals court nominee, Thomas Griffith, has been practicing law without a license in Utah for the past 4 years.
He don't even have a license, Lisa.
Does anything go easy for this White House?
So what are they going to do with this guy now? Does he got to go back and take the bar? Is this like a Rodney Dangerfield movie? What the heck is going on?
He has to pass all the grades, kindergarten through high school, in 2 weeks in order to get the hotel chain.
Back to school, back to school. Stop looking at me, Swan.
I would imagine in Utah there's not much going on anyway. It's just polygamy law or something.
Over there in Utah, you're also allowed to be a dentist. It doesn't matter. You don't really have to do a lot of schooling in Utah.
But there's just nothing, do a background check. You have the facilities, you have the know-how and the capabilities.
The guy's working as a lawyer. Who would be stunned to think that he doesn't have a license? I mean, that's the craziest story I've ever heard.
You think you'd have him show that on the application, so you run and make a copy of it.
Wouldn't you think that Utah would be running the deal for themselves? What the heck is going on out there? How did they get to be a state? It's too hot, too dry, and too salty. It's salty and it's inland. I don't understand that place.
They really are more of a Jell-O territory. Senator Ted Kennedy is going to host a monthly current affairs show on cable access across Massachusetts starting in July.
This is going to be the greatest show since Playboy After Dark. He's just going to show up. It's going to be black and white. There'll be a little jazz band playing. He comes out with a martini. I'm glad everybody could stop by tonight.
He's going to be doing Teddy's World. It's party time. It's excellent. And I'm sure the word Babylicious will come up at some point.
This is a show I wouldn't mind watching, though. I think it would be interesting.
I would like to see if this is like, maybe in retirement, this becomes his career, where he's just another Phil Donahue out there. When he retires, he'll be dead, Fez. The guy's not going anywhere. And if he wanted to do this on the side, he could have a show anywhere. This sounds a lot funner, and it's just going to be him sitting in his office in front of a camera. Well, I hope, when they start it in July, that there's a couple of shows just from the Cape, where he just records it from his vacation home, and he's kind of leaned back in those giant teddy shorts that he wears, holding the microphone, and just waving to boats as they go by.
Palm Beach audience are the greatest in the world, Fezzy.
I'm sure a lot of the guests will have a blue dot over their faces.
That's his nephew. Hey, everybody remembers my nephew.
Producers of a British documentary about who really killed JonBenet Ramsey say they can't sell it to America because America won't accept a suspect other than her parents. Now, the producers make the case in the film that she was killed by people dressed as ninjas.
You know what? As soon as I heard about JonBenet dying, what was it, like 5 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
I said, where was Jackie Chan that night? Where was Jet Li? Where are many of the ninjas out there?
Now, one of the original suspects that they went and talked about was the guy who was Santa Claus at their Christmas party. So they know there's a costume connection. They're just not sure which way it's going.
But you can understand now why we couldn't help her, because they're ninjas. They're in and out. They're very quick. They move like shadows, Fez.
That's how they cut the screens and everything. Now, the fact that it's ninjas that did this makes me want to see this thing. I can watch a documentary where it's ninjas committing the crime, not the parents.
You'll watch a show where ninjas are killing a little girl.
I'll watch that.
That's your way of entertainment.
I want to see what kind of credibility it has.
Here's why it has no credibility. The word ninja comes up in Boulder, Colorado. Don't you think we'd be able to spot ninjas? What are they running on treetops?
You can't spot ninjas. That's just the thing. They're invisible.
Maybe there's some in here right now.
Oh, man.
Maybe we're surrounded by ninjas and we don't even know it.
You're going to make me all dizzy again.
Oh, all I know is they cut your throat quick. They always just seem to come by and slash the throat, those ninjas.
Now I got a sore throat. What is the Sunshine State?
That is Florida, Fez.
Well, they say Arizona, Nevada, California, and Texas all have more sunny days than Florida.
So, another big lie. It is not that now we should go down to Florida, force them to change their name to the 5th Sunshine State. They're in the top 5, which isn't overly bad. And not only that, Arizona has something like 120 more sunny days a year than the Sunshine State does. And if you go down there, every day it rains. Every single day at 3 o'clock, you can set your watch by it in the summer. It rains hard.
It really is the Swamp State, but that doesn't look nearly as catchy on a license plate. Or on the signs as you're driving into the place.
How about the inbred toothless state, Fez?
That's not going to get tourism up.
How about the home of Bootfoot?
That's my brother Corky, and he had a bunion that went bad.
Let me tell you something. I'll be goddamn.
We're going to take a break here. We'll be right back. You're listening to the fastest hour in radio, and we're Ron and Fez.